It's a reality of modern life that most of the impending disasters forecast by news media never happen. That's particularly so in the property industry. Recent years have been full of startling headlines about a collapse of property prices, including in 2020 when COVID struck Australia, and also at the beginning of 2023 when bank economists predicted prices would drop 15 to 20% because interest rates were rising. Now, journalists love these kinds of impending doom stories, and they're happy to publish scary headlines warning us of dreadful things to come. And this causes a lot of unnecessary anxiety in the community, already struggling with high interest rates, rising prices for life essentials, climate disasters, the outbreak of wars, earthquakes causing devastation, and a whole lot more. And media, of course, never apologises when the disaster they predicted fails to occur. Now, one of the notions very popular with journalists seeking to generate clickbait with a startling forecast is the concept of a cliff. A property market cliff, a price cliff, a mortgage cliff. According to news media, there are always things about to fall off a cliff, except it never happens. The most popular one in 2023 has been the idea of a mortgage cliff. We've been told repeatedly to expect that the number of people coming off fixed interest rates and having to pay much higher variable rates would generate an avalanche of loan payment defaults, household disasters, and therefore falling property prices. But to date at least, it hasn't happened. It was never going to happen in our view, but now we can confirm that no cliff has transpired because we're now well into this phase of transition from fixed rate mortgages, and there has been no noticeable uplift in mortgage delinquencies and no reports of households falling apart in large numbers because of the higher repayments. Now, the same media organisations which happily published the impending disaster headlines earlier in the year are now rather self-righteously criticising the notion that there would ever be a mortgage cliff. The Financial Review, for example, which has degenerated into one of the worst tabloid rags in the country, recently ran a headline which said the fixed rate mortgage cliff was a myth. The article declared that the exaggerated fixed rate mortgage cliff has turned out to be a manageable staircase for borrowers. And that article in the Financial Review also said previous much hyped concerns that people rolling off cheap fixed rate home loans could be caught up in a wave of defaults and mortgage arrears have so far proven overblown. Well, yes indeed, the Financial Review was one of the worst culprits in generating clickbait headlines about this earlier in the year. It's a bit rich to be now adopting the tut-tut we told you so tone now that the hysteria they helped to generate has proven to be false.